Lines will get more light. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sabari Prajakacharya Stotra Satasi Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Sabari Prajakacharya Stotra Satasi Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Sham Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, my dear devotees, as far as possible, I request you to put on your cameras so we can see your moon-like faces, and it will be more personal. Good, that's better. So today is His Grace Jayananda Prabhu's disappearance day. Jayananda Prabhu was a very beloved disciple of Srila Prabhupada's, who was an amazing devotee. And I think I'll read a letter written by Kalindi Dasi to her spiritual master Chandramauli Swami about her experience of serving Jayananda Prabhu's mother in hospice. So she writes, in mid-July, I started wearing tilak to my work at the hospice. I thought that since many other spiritual practitioners were expressing their faith by wearing crosses, doves, silk threads, pentacles, and other items, I would wear my tilak, which tells the world that I am a devotee of Krishna. And I have found that simply keeping tilak at work has opened the door for spiritual questions and conversations. On the morning of Monday, August 6, 2007, after our daily report and medical staff checks, we began doing our usual tasks of caring for the patients. As ours is only a 10-bed facility, we are able to give loving care to each patient individually. Often, while I care for or bathe patients who are unable to do such tasks for themselves, I chant or sing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. On this particular morning, I was caring for a woman named Jane Kaur, who had been with us for almost a week. She was a kind and polite person, and I enjoyed the time I was spending with her. Around 8 a.m. on August 6th, I entered her room and found that she was getting closer to leaving her body. She was unresponsive to verbal cues, and her body was limp. I sang the Maha Mantra one last time while she received her final bath. Hospice staff called her family, who were always friendly and appreciative of our care for her. When I was finished, I spoke with some of the family members in the hall. Jane's grandson approached me to thank me, and then he pointed to his forehead and to my tilak and asked if I was a Hare Krishna. I smiled and said that yes, I was a devotee of Krishna. Well, he said, then maybe you know of my uncle Jayananda. The Jayananda? I asked. Yes, he said. And he told me how his uncle had built the Rath Yatra carts. He then went in to inform his mother that I was a Hare Krishna. Gaynell, Jayananda Prabhu's sister, came out of the room and said that she was so happy that a Krishna devotee had cared for her mother. The whole family expressed that it meant so much to them. Gaynell kept saying that she couldn't believe that I was a Hare Krishna. She said that she told her mother but wasn't sure that her mom could hear her. I said that I had a feeling she already knew, and I laughed. Jane, a granddaughter, mentioned that she remembered her uncle making really great Indian food and offering it to God, and then the family sitting on the floor and eating it. She remembered his robes and how happy he was. Jane said that he had been pretty depressed before meeting devotees. I let Jayananda Prabhu's family know that during the Rath Yatra festival, we hang a nice photo of him next to Srila Prabhupada's photo. They told me that an old friend of Jayananda's, who is not a devotee, happened to be in Africa several years ago and saw his first Rath Yatra festival there. And to his astonishment, there was a huge photo of Jayananda Prabhu on the front of the cart. He had called Gaynell to share the news. They told me that Jayananda was always very kind, even as a child, and never spoke badly of others. From the many stories they told me, his saintly qualities shined through even in his childhood. Gaynell told me that her brother once spent hours on a family vacation at the beach picking ticks and fleas off a homeless dog. He couldn't stand to watch it suffer. Jayananda's nephew told me about running around the kitchen table as a small child with his uncle, who was laughing and chanting Hare Krishna. When I went into Jane's room, the family gathered around her bed holding her hand. Her breaths were faint, and she was about to leave her body. I stepped out to give the family some space, and about 5 minutes later, they came to the front desk and asked for me to look at her. When I opened the door, I saw that her body had turned yellow and waxy. It was apparent that the soul had left and that the physical body was all that remained. The nurse reported that she had passed, and the family, though sad, also felt relief. Gaynell told me that she had asked her brother for support. Since he couldn't physically be at their mother's passing, She had been looking for a sign that he was supporting her. She felt that a devotee's being present and caring for her mother was not a mere coincidence. It was, I believe, Krishna's endless mercy. I thanked the relatives for allowing me to serve their family, offered my pranams, and said, Hare Krishna. So we can get some sense of what a special soul Jayananda Prabhu was. Even as a child, he demonstrated so many saintly qualities, which of course were developed fully in the association of Srila Prabhupada and the devotees. He was always eager to do service. Sometimes when a devotee would not show up for some service that the devotee was assigned to do, Jayananda Prabhu would say, Haribol Prabhus, good news. So-and-so didn't come for his service. So that means we have more service that we can do. And he wasn't saying it artificially. He meant it genuinely. He was always eager to do service. So yeah, today's a very special day, his disappearance day. And I'm glad that I could be with you on this occasion. Nitai Gaurasundar Prabhu mentioned that since we're approaching Nrsimha Chaturdasi, I could also say something in relation to Nrsimha Chaturdasi. And so I selected two verses from Srimad-Bhagavatam, from Canto 5, Chapter 18, the residents of Jambudweep offer prayers. And these are prayers offered by Sri Prahlada to Lord Nrsimhadeva. So I'll read texts 8 and 9 and discuss them. Text 8 is, it's prose, but still I'll read it. Om Namo Bhagavate Nrsimhaya Namaste Se Avirbhava Vajranaka Vrajadamstra Karma Shayam Randaya Tamograsa Grasa Om Swaha Abhyam Atmani Uyishta Om Sharum. Translation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimhadeva, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In Srimad-Bhagavatam 4:22-39, Sanat Kumar speaks the following words to Maharaj Prithu. Yat pada pankaja palasa vilasa bhaktya karma sayan grahitatam ugrayanti santa tadvanna rikta matayo yatayo piruda shoto ganas tamaranam vajavasudevam. Quote, devotees always engaged in the service of the toes of the Lord's lotus feet can be very easily freed from hard-knotted desires for fruitive activities. because this is very difficult. The non-devotees, the jnanis and yogis, cannot stop the waves of sense gratification, although they try to do so. Therefore, you are advised to engage in the devotional service of Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. End quote. So Srila Prabhupada has written a very beautiful purport to this verse. And in the purport, he says that the waves of desire are just like the waves of a river that flow incessantly. But sometimes the waves of the river flow to the ocean, and sometimes at high tide, the waves of the ocean overflood the river. And Srila Prabhupada similarly, although the desires for fruitive activities are like waves that flow incessantly, sometimes the waves of the ocean overflood the river. And the purport is that that the devotees' desires for fruitive activity are overflooded by desires to serve Krishna. So coming back to the purport here, every living being within this material world has a strong desire to enjoy matter to its fullest satisfaction. For this purpose, the conditioned soul must accept one body after another, and thus his strongly fixed fruitive desires continue. One cannot stop the repetition of birth and death without becoming completely desireless. Therefore, Rupa Goswami describes pure bhakti, devotional service, as follows. Anyabilasita sunyam jnana karma dhinavritam anukulena krishnanu shilanam bhakti-ruttama. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably, without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. Unless one is completely freed of all material desires, which are caused by the dense darkness of ignorance, one cannot fully engage in the devotional service of the Lord. Therefore, and please listen carefully, my dear devotees, therefore we should always offer our prayers to Lord Nrsimhadeva, who killed Hiranyakashipu, the personification of material desire. Hiranya means gold, and Kashipu means soft cushion or bed. Materialistic persons always desire to make the body comfortable, and for this they require huge amounts of gold. Thus, Hiranyakasipu is the perfect representative of materialistic life. He was therefore the cause of great disturbance to the topmost devotee, Prahlada Maharaj, until Lord Nrsimhadeva killed him. Any devotee aspiring to be free of material desires should offer his respectful prayers to Nrsimhadeva, as Prahlada Maharaj did in this verse. So I'll read the verse again. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimhadeva, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth, just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. And the next verse is beautiful, and it shows Prahlad's magnanimous heart. Text 9. Swastastu vishvasya kala prasidatam jayantu bhutani shivam mitodya manascha bhajata dadhoksaje aveshyatam no matirapyahaituki. Translation. May there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing bhakti yoga. For by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thoughts of him. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The following verse describes a Vaishnava. Vanchakalpa trubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Just like a desire tree, a Vaishnava can fulfill the desires of anyone who takes shelter of his lotus feet. Prahlada Maharaj is a typical Vaishnava. He prays not for himself, but for all living entities, the gentle, the envious, and the mischievous. He always thought of the welfare of mischievous persons like his father, Hiranyakashipu. Prahlada Maharaj did not ask for anything for himself. Rather, he prayed for the Lord to excuse his demoniac father. This is the attitude of a Vaishnava, who always thinks of the welfare of the entire universe. Srimad-Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Dharma are meant for persons who are completely free from envy. Parama Nirmatsaranam. Therefore, Prahlada Maharaj prays in this verse, Kala Prasidatam. May all the envious persons be pacified. The material world is full of envious persons. But if one frees himself from envy, he becomes liberal in his social dealings and can think of others' welfare. Anyone who takes up Krishna consciousness and engages himself completely in the service of the Lord cleanses his mind of all envy. Manas chabadram bhajatad adhoksaje. Therefore, we should pray to Lord Nrsimhadeva to sit in our hearts. We should pray, Bahir Nrsimho Hridaye Nrsimha. Let Lord Nrsimhadeva sit in the core of my heart, killing all my bad propensities. Let my mind become clean, so that I may peacefully worship the Lord and bring peace to the entire world. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given us a very fine purport in this regard. Whenever one offers a prayer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one always requests some benediction from him. Even pure Nishkam devotees pray for some benediction, as instructed by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shikshastaka. Ayinanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddho Kripaya Tava Padapankaja Stiti Duli Sadrisham Vichintaya. O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from the ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. In another prayer, Lord Chaitanya says, Mama Janmani Janmanishwari Bhavatad Bhaktir Ahaitu Twai. Life after life, kindly let me have unalloyed love and devotion to your Lordship's lotus feet. When Prahlada Maharaj chants, Om Namo Bhagavate Nrsimhadeva, he prays for a benediction from the Lord. But because he is also an exalted Vaishnava, he wants nothing for his personal sense gratification. The first desire expressed in his prayer is Swastyastu Vishvasya. Let there be good fortune throughout the entire universe. Prahlada Maharaj thus requested the Lord to be merciful to everyone, including his father, a most envious person. According to Chanakya Pandit, there are two kinds of envious living entities. One is a snake, and the other is the man like Hiranyakashipu, who is by nature envious of everyone, even of his father or son. Hiranyakashipu was envious of his little son Prahlada, but Prahlada Maharaj asked a benediction for the benefit of his father. Hiranyakashipu was very envious of devotees, but Prahlada wished that his father and other demons like him would give up their envious nature by the grace of the Lord and stop harassing the devotees. Kala prasidatam. The difficulty is that the kala, envious living entity, is rarely pacified. One kind of kala, the snake, can be pacified simply by mantras or by the action of a particular herb. Mantra shadi vasha sarpa kala kalena vivaryate. An envious person, however, cannot be pacified by any means. Therefore, Prahlada Maharaj prays that all envious persons may undergo a change of heart and think of the welfare of others. If the Krishna consciousness movement spreads all over the world, and if by the grace of Krishna everyone accepts it, the thinking of envious people will change. Everyone will think of the welfare of others. Therefore, Prahlada Maharaj prays, Shivam Mito Diya. Again, Shivam Mito Diya means that people will think of each other's welfare. So if the Krishna consciousness movement spreads all over the world, and if by the grace of Krishna everyone thinks of it, the thinking of envious people will change. Everyone will think of the welfare of others. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj prays Shivam Mitodiya. In material activities, everyone is envious of others. But in Krishna consciousness, no one is envious of anyone else. Everyone thinks of the welfare of others. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj prays that everyone's mind may become gentle by being fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna. Bhajatad adhokshaje. As indicated elsewhere in Srimad-Bhagavatam, Savayamana Krishna Padaravindayo, and as advised by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 1865, Manmana Bhavamad Bhakta, one should constantly think of the lotus feet of Krishna. Then one's mind will certainly be cleansed. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Materialists always think of sense gratification. But Prahlad Maharaj prays that the Lord's mercy will change their minds and they will stop thinking of sense gratification. If they think of Krishna always, everything will be all right. Some people argue that if everyone thought of Krishna in that way, the whole universe would be vacated because everyone would go back home, back to Godhead. However, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that this is impossible because the living entities are innumerable. If one set of living entities is actually delivered by the Krishna consciousness movement, another set will fill the entire universe. I'll read the translation again. May there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing bhakti yoga. For by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thoughts of Him. So, by always thinking of Krishna, in other words, by Krishna consciousness, all of our problems are solved. Our bad qualities are rectified, and our good qualities blossom. And in the present age of Kali Yuga, we are advised especially to chant the holy names. Harinama, Harinama, Harinami Kevalam. Kulona Stevana, Stevana, Stevagatiranata. In the age of Kali, one should chant the holy names, chant the holy names, chant the holy names of Hari, Krishna. There is no other way, no other way, no other way for success in this age. So, as Srila Prabhupada said in a talk in Los Angeles, if you've got time, chant Hare Krishna. Don't waste time. Don't speak nonsense. Chant Hare Krishna. So we should fill our time as much as possible from morning to night with Krishna by chanting His holy names, reading of his transcendental glories and speaking of his transcendental name, form, qualities, and pastimes. So Srila Prabhupada has given us everything in a most practical way, and we should take advantage of our good fortune and engage in Krishna consciousness, bhakti yoga, as directed by Srila Prabhupada, following the previous acharyas, and also share our good fortune with others by sharing Krishna consciousness with them. So, my dear devotees, thank you for listening so patiently and attentively. And now, if any of you have any questions or any comments, any reflections, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Wonderful discussion on Jayananda Prabhu, and then quoting these two verses. The second verse described Jayananda Prabhu.
Yes, good point. It did describe him. Wonderful, beautiful.
Any other questions or comments from Maharaj? There is one.
Yes, Damodar Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, for that nice talk. Guru Maharaj, I was thinking there were two examples. One is of Puranmashi Mataji from Russia, and another is also from Aindra Prabhu. They were in some kind of problem, and then they tried to remember Krishna. They chanted Hare Krishna, and then they also tried to remember Nrsimhadeva, and then and then their problems, like there were some demons and they were not going, but when they chanted the names of Srila Prabhupada, that's when they got the help. So I was trying to understand how can we understand those situation. Is that because of their love for Srila Prabhupada? Like how can we understand those things?
Damodar Krishna Das, are you going to speak now?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Sure, Guru Maharaj. So I was saying, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, for that nice talk. Guru Maharaj, I was thinking of two examples of different devotees. One is Puranmashi Mataji from Russia, in which she was imprisoned, and then there was a witch which was called on her, and then it is explained that she tried to remember Hare Krishna mantra, and then she tried to remember Nrsimhadev, and eventually the witch did not go away. But then at the end, she tried to call out to Srila Prabhupada, and then the witch suddenly went away. And then another example is of Aindra Prabhu also, in which there was a Brahma Rakshas in his room, and then he tried to chant all the names, and then Brahma Rakshas was also chanting all the names of Krishna. But eventually, when Aindra Prabhu chanted the names of Prabhupada, he called out to Prabhupada, the Brahma Rakshas got scared. So I was trying to understand how is it because of their love for Srila Prabhupada, or like what was the dynamics over there, Guru Maharaj? I was trying to understand that. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj.
Yes. Yeah, I would say it's a combination of their love for Prabhupada and Prabhupada's immense spiritual potency. Yeah, I love that story about the lady in Russia who was being tortured and nothing helped her until she came to Srila Prabhupada, and then she was saved. So, yeah, we're blessed to know about Srila Prabhupada, to serve him, to read his books, to serve his mission, and to chant his name. Yeah, wonderful, beautiful.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Any other questions or comments? All right, then we can conclude by offering Vaishnava Pranam. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who are just like desired trees, who can fulfill the desires of everyone, and are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vanchakalpa trubhyascha kripa sindhubheva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Jayananda Prabhu ki jai, Sri Prahlada Maharaj ki jai, Sri Nrsimhadeva ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, as for your mercy, and I will see you have your darshan this weekend. Else?
Yes, wonderful, beautiful.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj. Wonderful class, Maharaj. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj ki jai.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Jai.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Guru
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Nice to see you all. Wonderful to see you all.